gonna say bodybuilding talk more or less. This is some news. As you know, if you've been following what's going on in the world of bodybuilding, as you know, Stephanie Fletcher has been found out that she was involved in the situation of child molestation. Now, I talked about this about was it about a couple of days ago, and now the hammer has been dropped on her. She's officially has been dropped as a Wings and Strafe ambassador. It's just some crazy shit. I mean, um, she his thing is I'm kind of suspicious. Wings Strafe should have known about this, at this time. I think it was like this. You ever like I said, you ever been to had would apply for a job? 90 days a job, you have to do a background check. Like I applied for a job before I got black for a background check, and I got that job because I had nothing, no middle, no kind of any kind of issues. Oh, I got my hair. Thank you. I had no any kind of criminal issues, like never been arrested. Other than maybe a couple of tickets, but I paid those tickets. So that one time when I paid the ticket, and then they told me, the ticket came in a day late, and then I lost my license, and that was messed up. I was already had that job by then, but I don't know, the system's crazy. But anyway, this situation with Stephanie Fletcher is a mess. It is a firestorm. I've been talking back and forth with some people. Some people who have met her. I met her. As you know, you remember a while back, I went to Savannah. And, it's almost over a month ago since I went to Savannah. Wow, time really flying. And, she was working the booth along with Don Salim. And I was there. I got to see Donna. Donna came in into the while we're doing the prejudging. We talked a good bit. We hugged. Even after the show, we talked some more. I know she had to do a little politicking and walk around talking to working the booth. And then before I left to go back, change my clothes and get refreshed for the finals, I asked Donna, "You think you might take a picture with me?" I said, "Cool. Me and her take a picture." So you can see the pictures in my community section in my YouTube and also on my IG. And um, Stephanie was there. I took couple pictures of Stephanie, and she didn't really talk to me much. It just. And then she goes like asking, "Oh, now you think I can take a picture with you?" I said, "Okay, okay." I just, I just didn't really get excited much about her when I took, if you see the picture where I took with Donna, I have a big smile on my face. With Stephanie, I was like, her energy is just like funny. But it's just, this thing it's just crazy what has been going down. And, this guy Goop, who he's been back and forth with Stephanie because originally Stephanie, this is what I found out. What Stephanie was doing, and I think I said it before in my previous live, she was outing out other competitors who like do Photoshop, and like Mila Ash and some others, and that's the name that somebody told me that, I found my groups. You can go to groups live. It's Goop underscore U2. It's on IG, and you can see the stories he's told, and then back and forth. Well, Goop, just dropped this. I think this yesterday afternoon. I was out and about, and somebody sent it to me on my IG that Wings of Strength is completely unaware of the. Oh, this is the other thing. Oh, sorry. Let me read this. Wings of Strength. Let me get it for you. I gotta find it. I think somewhere. Give me a minute, because I still a little bit early in the morning. I said I thought I'll jump out here and do this. Let's see, Wings of Strength. I know I got Wings of Strength here. Wings, 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 wings. I gotta pull it because I don't know how you can do it. Like you can get can you pull up? Let me see. I'm still yeah live chat. Yeah, I'm still kind of okay. I'm sorry, folks. I mess around with stuff, and I'm still trying to learn. Um, you know, and I don't want to you know disconnect. That's my fault. I apologize. Um, Let me find the regional. Not the regional. I mean, I can go to Wing Street. One thing is what Wing Street did was now let's see. They posted yesterday, I believe, because they had to get in front of it. They have to because their business. They can't afford to have a hit like this. Even though that Stephanie has a particular look they like. I think Stephanie is mildly attractive. But what stuff I hear from some people is mostly she's good. She's a good makeup artist, and she knows how to do hair and makeup pretty well. Maybe that'd be her future outside of the sport. But other than that, she's really up sheet creek without a pedal. And okay, I have found the. This is the original. You can look backwards to you, but and this is posted on YouTube on Windsor Strength's IG page. Now, let's go like this. Windsor Strength was completely unaware of the charges filed against Miss Flesher back in 2017. Were saddened and disappointed to hear of this. Miss Flesher's contract is currently expired and she's no longer affiliated with Wings of Strength. All of us here in Wings of Strength deeply appreciate the ongoing love and support of the entire fitness community. And one problem is with this here, they took out the comment part. You see the heart and you see the part where you can send it to somebody else. That means that they don't have the comment part, meaning that no one can comment to it. But it's just ridiculous. You know, I think they wanted to kind of dodge that situation. You know, but what this they put this is something like this. As here in the United States and how some pretty much just about most countries work. When you are arrested or charges filed against you, it is public information, meaning that all you got to do is just to go to the county that person lives in. Like I said again, when you do a background check, and it's not that hard to find that information. It's not that hard. People, all they got to do is go to your county seat, go to the to the courthouse and request it. I think it's a lot of paperwork you got to file. You got to know how the laws work. I think that guy Goop. Somebody said they told me he has a law degree, so he knows how to work. Because he knows how the system works. And ring strength, they probably do because you know what, bodybuilding. Even though there's a lot of people, it's a very small community. Like recently, I've been talking back for some people that actually ran cross against with Stephanie. I'm not telling names because I don't respect their privacy. And some situations where they just she rubbed them raw. I think as the saying goes. Oh, there's a piece of it here. Yeah, I should have fixed my hair. Get a little gray in it. Next month is gonna be my 48th birthday. Happy birthday to me. You know, and I should have known this. And it's the sad part about this. Group said as a family member, and you already know that. Particularly, I'm not gonna say her name per se, or I know it's a female, because I'm like I said, I'm gonna do that group. I'm gonna respect that family member's privacy. But this is somebody a very, very, very close family member, and this is sad that a woman would do this, take a part of this. But what? I know women who've done this. I know women who will put their, a man before their children. And there have been people in my family, me too. I have family members that have done it too, but not to the point where they let somebody, you know, abuse child. They're like they're pawn off their kids instead of family members, so they run off this man, and this man don't do shit for you. End up he be cheating on you, he leaves you, he dumps you, he lies to you, and then you come back crawling on your hands and knees to your family and get back your kids because you fact like you realize you're a fool. But sometimes lessons learned. But this Stephanie is sloppy. I mean, from also she was involved in a relationship with a guy in the bodybuilder world who was married 3 or 4 times. She started this whole crusade against Shelby Starnes. Well, you remember last year, Elaine Havani, who was Shelby's client, she died at the show in Europa in Spain, Europa Championships in Spain. But the fact was that we don't know the details of how she died. It died, I think it was dehydration, something like that. And Shelby and all of a sudden, Stephanie got on this bandwagon. Also, she just jumped on his bag and said, "Let's get Shelby Starnes." And Shelby, and when people told me Shelby never really, really said much about it. But what it was, I think he had legal standing. I think the issue was that she was slapped with stopping a deceased lawsuit, not just by Shelby, I believe, but also by Alina Habani's family. And also, she did a bunch of interviews she had done. I mean, I remember somebody who sent me some stuff and said I was trying to reach out to her interview, but I'm not big enough for her. So I say fuck 'em. I put it like fuck 'em. And just this, what she did was very foul. I mean, the woman just died, and then you want to jump on here. That year, she just switched over from women's physique to bodybuilding, and she was doing pretty good. She was on her way to the Olympia. She already qualified. She had enough points where she qualified. I think she was number two behind Denise Mikowski. And that was the year that I think Monique Jones and Alicia Young took a step back. I think she said her mother was sick, and I think she took a step back to her mother. And I think I remember Monique saying that she had to, she had some issues she had to deal with. And I love Monique Jones. And I'm a big fan of Alicia Young. Like I said, she made some comments on my a video I did about her when she had her scooter accident. And and that's the thing. That's the genuine thing. I wasn't too much a big fan of Alicia, but she, some aspects, but she's really a great person. She's a mother, and I think she really understands. She will understand that a woman doing this to a child, bribing with a dog, an expensive dog, but still a dog. Come on, and I knew that to be a child because you can't bribe a kid with a dog. You can bribe a kid. If it's like a teenager, it's money. I know a teenager, money. You know, not no dog, money. You know, but it was I feel it was what kind of it was some kind of puppy. I forgot what it was, a Akita or something like that. You know, but there's a lot of shady shit in the world of bodybuilding. That's since I've been doing this content, the people I've talked to, the people I've become friends with, the interviews I've done, and stuff we talk on the back end. There's a lot of shady shit in bodybuilding, and right now, what bodybuilding needs is someone to come in there and to two things: to curtail it and all the shit that's going on, and also to bring in a injection of cash. Bodybuilding needs some heavy, big bucks, to survive and to grow. As you know, there was talk that The Rock wanted to take part. He wanted to even create a show that kind of rivals a bit of the, Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic and the Olympia. So why not have that? Kind of like, okay, the Olympia still is going to be a big show, but this show kind of like be the All Star game of bodybuilding. That was the Arnold, but Arnold, as you know, has cut a lot of divisions out of his show. He cut out women's bodybuilding. That's been almost over 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago. He's uh, just cut out physique last year. He just cut out women's. I don't see any call women's figure. Just call it figure because there's no men's figure. Actually, men's classic physique is men's figure in a way, and he cut out 212, which is the smaller guys, the guys who are not big enough to go up to the men's open level, but still they have good physiques. And what should happen is what I would if I could do, and if I had the way, I like with it. If I had the way and had the resources, I would reach out to Jake Wood and Linda Murray. I said, Linda, and I went to the Savannah show. It was a great show. Linda's a great promoter. Linda, if she could be like the Arnold, because like that could be the position that Iris Kyle could have, but Iris, she's busy, got other stuff, and you understand that, and especially how she got bad mouth and backlisted in bodybuilding. Linda is now she's kind of like she's gonna be like and all thing Linda doesn't have the money and the resources like Arnold does. Arnold can probably just slap his name on something, and he can put a box of shit and slap Arnold Schwarzenegger on it, and then sell it to people. People will buy it because it has Arnold's name on it. Arnold has deep pockets, resources like that. If Linda has those same resources financially, I think she can expand her brand and create more shows. I know I talk to some ladies that say they wish there was more shows in the Midwest, wish there was more shows in the West Coast. A lot of shows are now here in the East because you got your closest states like Florida, where there's a growing is probably one of the biggest growing bodybuilding communities. You have California has always been a big bodybuilding community. I know some ladies who live like in places like Kansas, Ohio, Virginia. They would love to have more shows closer to them. That's why a little closer to them. As you know, we just the Indie Pro has been retired because the guy who's running it, Dave Brower, he can't keep up. He's been finding sponsors, and it's just that if I was like I will say Bill Gates level billionaire, where and that's richer than Jake Wood. Uh, I would reach out to, and I know there's guys out there who are wealthy smokes, a big fan of Williams bodybuilding. Like guys like Montel Williams. Montel Williams could do something like that because Montel, I don't know, Montel, he's going through the thing with, I think he had, what's that, multiple sclerosis. I don't know if he's how he's doing. Hadn't heard much about him lately. I think for a while. Montel Williams would be a good person because he's a big fan of female bodybuilding. I mean, I still got a copy of Muscle Development. We saw on the front with I think it was Diane Dennis, and I think I'm not sure it was Diane Dennis and Shirley Beatty. I think I still got a copy somewhere in my collection in the storage closet in back in my house. But there's plenty of guys who are fan of female bodybuilders that are very wealthy, but they stay undercover. They don't want nobody to know about it. But hey, fuck it, live your life. If you are someone out there who has a good, you can write off a tax. You can write off as a tax exemption. You're like, you can put it on your taxes. Hey, write it off. That's money you don't worry about. Especially if you type of people who have money where it's continuous. You have continuous family wealth. You get saying, I got all this money. I don't know what to do with it. You know, and like I said, Jake Wood and them when everything was going to start with the situation with The Rock. The whole thing happened with the virus. I don't call it about his name. I just call it the virus. Because I'm not. We follow my channel. I'm not a fan of the virus. I blame a particular person who let this virus go too far, like it did, and this has happened to me. It affected my family. Both my sisters had it, and my mother, she had it, and I just, But besides that, if someone can say, reach out to Jake and Linda and say, Miss Murray, Mr. Wood, I want to bring in something to you in the form of a donation. I want to help you, like Miss Linda Murray, big fan of yours, great physique. I want to expand your brand. Like one thing, um, you know, needing more shows for women's bodybuilding. Because like I said, it's kind of quiet right now. Me and my partner, Jen, we are trying to think of stuff to talk about because we do have a show coming up, and that is the next weekend, and that is the Rising Phoenix. And we're gonna talk. We're gonna have a live. We'll talk about that. We're gonna have our predictions. I'm gonna, the list was revised for the Rising Phoenix because originally Stephanie was on the list, and last time Donna wasn't. Donna Sleep. Donna Sleep's on the list, and Stephanie, she's off. She was off, I think, about last month. And then revised the list because she competed two shows. That was the Indy where she took second, and the New York where she took second, and she already had 12 points. All she needed was to do maybe one more show, which probably will qualify her for the Olympics. She could have done, I think what was after the show? I think Chicago or maybe Atlanta, and she could have possibly either won or got enough points. You know, but what happened was that would be a great showdown between, if she did Tampa, that'd be a great showdown between Chelsea Dion and Stephanie Fletcher because they're about the same height. They have the big broad shoulders. They did that vacuum thing. I hate that vacuum thing. That's men's bodybuilding. The vacuum thing. It's never been a thing. They have the same kind of dimensions and way a bit, and that would have been a great showdown between Stephanie and Chelsea. But now we're not gonna see that ever happen. It's kind of like, you know, I'm trying to think of a fight. A fight that never happened that we would love to see happen. What I'm trying to think of. I'm trying to think of it. I remember there's some boxing matches I would love to see happen, but never happened for a particular reason or something. It's just, Mm. But anyway, you know, all she needed was to do. She had 12 points, 12 points, you know, and all she needed to do was like maybe one or two more shows, or if she did one show, it could have qualified by winning. She could have done Omaha. Omaha only had two women. That was Diane Willis and the other lady I forgot, Kelly, I forgot her name. And I know I was talking to some ladies who said they wish they'd done that show. Some of the ladies were like maybe 3 weeks out. They could have done that show and still they could have won it. Danielle looked pretty good, but she wasn't as conditioned. She's still a bit soft. She's very feminine. She's very attractive, and she won because the other competitor wasn't better. There was that other chick's bodybuilding debut. But Stephanie said that after that New York show, she had a foot injury. And I said, I mentioned before it was a plantar fasciitis. I forgot how to say that. I'm sorry, My language is not that good. I'm Southern. But I thought, well, okay, she can cover, maybe give her maybe a month or two, and she can do another show. And then I saw her at Savannah, and she looked like she wasn't as in shape. She looked really. If you've seen the pictures on my social media, she looked a bit soft, But it was nice to see it. But I was more excited to see Donna when I was like I said, I was at prejudging, taking pictures, and Donna comes right behind. I took a picture of her. She could turn out, and we talked. And he hugged and talked, and then after the thing, we talked a little bit more, and I just walked around. I meet Annie Rivicchio, Lena Popa. I talked to Alex Flex Hall. I got to see Sheena. It was just a great opportunity. Also talked to Alandria Ballin, who played the competitor, because she took a picture with Alina, and I'm hoping to get her on my channel and do an interview with her. I know she's busy. Yeah, yeah. But I hope we get a channel. I hope we get some more ladies. It's been like I said this last week. I was kind of busy. I mean, I got to interview these three MMA fighters. Well, actually, three, because I interviewed Jessica Baraga. I think that's been ooh, almost at least about since last week. A few days ago, and interviewed Thursday. I had two interviews with Jamie, the Red Queen driver, and Brooke Gillen, and Brooke probably do a BKF FC fight against Jessica next weekend. But it was I think folks I really next week after next, so yeah, week after next. So folks, I'm really my channel and just hit my 1,000 subscribers. Now officially, I don't get monetized until I get 4,000 watch time hours, meaning that when I do lives and post stuff, people are watching my content. I will get I got to do a lot more lives, and that's why I'm doing this one. I'm my man under Underrated Darkness, after he regained his old channel, he has to work his butt off again. That's why he's doing a lot of lives lately. And I try to squeeze time to find lives. I got to try to find some stuff to talk about. But talk about the situation about Stephanie. She's a hot mess, and that's what I've talked to people about. She is a hot mess. She was in a lot of people's business. She's snobbish. I was talking with a lady this last night. How she told like they were both at the same show. She was competing at the Savannah, and and so again, Stephanie was just at Savannah working the booth, and she said he talked to her. She said she felt she was a little off. I know one lady who I interviewed a while back. We talked, and she said that Stephanie really rubbed her wall, and like when she was competing in the show, and Stephanie was she was there because she had a client there, and she was just yelling loud and yelling loud, and she's got in the face of her family and stuff like that, and just. And then there's this one story somebody told me, I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying names, that she was selling pills to an undercover cop. Now, some say it wasn't confirmed, it was not confirmed, it's just a rumor, but it's a possibility because in this world of bodybuilding, hey, everybody sells pills. Especially if you like, it could be not just steroids, diuretics. Diuretics is one thing. It's very popular because diuretics help push out that extra water, but to give them that dry, vascular look. And some girls do take diuretics, and it's just a way to help that make the veins pop out more if you're like drier. That's how they call it, drier. You know what I mean? But she's just a mess. She's a sloppy mess, and she had a lot of potential. A lot of potential. I mean, she had a great look to her, kind of attractive, great physique. I mean, that's why we Swings jumped on her. Mostly because the fact was they gave this ambassadorship because the fact is to quiet her mouth because she got so much shit that the IFBB had to find a way to shut her up a bit. Because last year she was on her way to go to Olympia, but then she dropped out. I know some competitors. I know talks to people say when some people might just drop out, but this is the opportunity, a lifetime. You may not get it again. I mean, unless you're really sick or but like they were saying, if the body's if the if the mind's not willing, the body's weak. If your mind's not willing to go with you, the body can't go with you. I understand like that. But when you're not that bad, I mean, you were doing pretty good. All you had to do maybe was it. She switched over after I think I think what was the show she switched? She did physique at Omaha, and after Omaha she switched over to Chicago and Tampa. Now there was no other shows left after that because you don't have yeah because You only had the Rising because after Tampa, there was no other shows. I think wait a minute, they had Savannah. He had Savannah, and she could have done Savannah if she wanted to. She did Tampa. Savannah was no more maybe a month or so after that, and she could have she could have gained more points, or even beat Shauna that year. But she got all after she got all up on this the whole Elena Havani situation. Running her mouth, jumping around, jumping on these other podcasts and talking about steroids and women and like that. Instead of what, let other people worry about that shit. Let me concentrate on this. I got opportunity. I'm going to Olympia. This is gonna be my first Olympia in my career. And now she had two opportunities and she fucked them up for being stupid, for being sloppy, for not getting in front of this shit when it happened, for not telling me the strength. Okay, I had a situation years ago, and I got, I got convicted, yada yada. She should have got in front of it. And if you get in front of shit like that, you'll be forgiven. But when you bury it, when you bury it, and somebody else finds out about it, that's what happens. When sometimes when this is, I remember, this was in next to South Carolina, and I remember when the governor at that time, um, I forgot his name, when a lot of these politicians got caught in affairs. They always bring their wives up there on the stage with them. This guy, I was a big fan of his. He came out, told her, yeah, I had an affair. He drank his wife to his shit. He said, my wife's gonna stay home. I'm just gonna come out here and talk for myself. I left the country. I went off with another woman, and I came back. He got in front of it. In a way, he got in front of it, but he didn't drag his wife on it. Like a lot of these prostitutes do. They bring their wife on the stage and be like, so, but no, he didn't. He later got divorced and he married the other woman. But she should have got in front of this. When Goop was calling her out, she should have got in front of this, but she was too stupid. She hankered down. She's one of those people, like she's like a Trump supporter. Their people are stupid. They still believe that Trump won the election. No, you did not. Only person there that was cheated at the election was Al Gore. He was cheated out of his election. He won his. You can't hold up. You can't use one state for allow one man to win. And that was Supreme Court shit. They did that. But she knew what she did, and she should have been an adult. Say, yes, I got convicted for his charges. Yes, this was a family member that I was trying to bribe, someone very close to me. I know what I did, and I'm sorry. I want to get out front of this. She should have. And with your strength, should have been a little smarter. Saying, you know what? If you can have someone, this thing is, if you can have someone like Lisa Cross, who does hardcore porn, especially with black dudes, you should really reconsider who you pick as ambassadors. People like Donna Salif, she deserves to be ambassador. Donna is a great person. Me and Donna have been talking back and forth on social media. I've been trying to get Donna to come on my channel and do interviews. I've seen she's been doing interviews with everybody else. Not me, but nah, Donna. That's cool, Donna. That's cool. 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 No, Donna, it's cool. It's cool. I understand. Yeah, but people like ladies who are great women who should be ambassadors. I going to drop some names. Tana Huey, she's a mother, a hardworking woman. She wanted to do some shows here in the United States, but as you know, it costs money. And if you follow Tana Huey, she's very proud, Jamaican woman who lives in Canada, and she doesn't want. But if you can reach out to Tana, you can follow. I follow her on just go to Tana Huey, just search for her, reach out to her, and generally try to she can use sponsors. She has sponsors in Canada, but she can use more sponsors. Probably she wants to do shows here in the States. She skipped. She didn't for the show they had in Vancouver. She didn't know about it. It was like too little too late, but she could have done that show. And Toronto, she said I skipped it this year. She shouldn't have, because she probably only got enough points because she had at least 7 points from last year. Toronto, she could have had enough, which probably would have given qualification for the Olympic. And if she had some people that can sponsor to come here to the States because it costs to travel, motel, everything else, she could have done a show here in the States, a couple of shows. She just needs a sponsorship. Another lady who I'm been acquainted with for a good bit, Tamara Makar. She's a great lady. Me and her been talking back and forth. I saw while I was on G a few minutes ago. She left me a message. I gotta go back and check it. And she's a great lady, and a lovely English lady of Hungarian descent, and she will be a great ambassador. But I think there's some things about her I do know about, but much respect to her. She's a great lady. Um, who else I'm kind of think of? There's some, they dropped Alicia Young. Alicia Young has, I know, as you know, if you follow my channel, I did a video about Alicia Young. She had gotten into a wreck in her scooter, and then she had competed since 2020. It's been almost 2 years since she competed. Something happened with her family, and she took a step back. She has a daughter, and also she's also doing other ventures. And Alicia, she's been ambassador for the last couple of years, but hope she comes back. I know she said she's planning on coming back next year, so I hope she does. I think she's a great person. I hope to get her on. We're gonna talk about her. We plan on do a talk about her, but we'll you follow my channel. You already know. You just see it's already been posted. But who else? There's some great ladies. Um, Andrew Yao, you know, Andrew Yao. She's probably gonna be ambassador next year. Most definitely, she's gonna be ambassador next year. Um, Someone who has a good background, someone who has very clean cut, very decent. I know one thing. I know a lot of girls do OnlyFans, and it's a way to make money. Because the sad part of it is like I was talking with Jamie, she would like to have a job, but she knows that being a fighter, it's just you have to you need the time to train, and that a full-time job really takes up a lot of time. I know some ladies they work at night, or they have jobs where which is very flexible for them, so they can train, they can also go do shows, and that's a good thing. But most other people, you're lucky. You're not lucky to have that. I remember I used to have a little job where I worked at night, and then I go work in the day, and then I had a little time between. Maybe that's the reason why I don't have a woman, because I work too much. That's my fault. I accept that. But hey, you know what? It's a struggle out here. And if you can find a job that can take care of all your bills all at once, that's great. That's really a career. A career does better for you than a job. Job just set to pay the bills. A career, you're set for life. You have something you can fall back on when everything's done. But there's some plenty more ladies. I'm off the top of my head. And also, one thing women's strength need to do is to bring in women's physique into the fold, because women's physique is getting the same stink eye, the same you know you know turn. I think how what's the stink eye? What's another word? The same degradation, based on what demigration as women's bodybuilding. And I think what Jake Wood, Alina, and Linda should bring those women in the fold. And many of those women, they model themselves after women like Alina Popa and Linda Murray. If you remember, the Linda Murray look was very popular, and that's what Physique wanted to go back to. But now those women are evolving. Now, if you look at now, I just saw a picture of Natalia Whale. I think I'm gonna. I think I'll post it on my IG, and also I posted it on my YouTube. Now you see that picture. I know one lady who saw Natalia a while back said she's gotten huge. Natalia is very young, very fit, but I've seen she look like she's really evolved. I'm gonna post it later in my community section, and also I got another picture of another lady and who I saw actually at Savannah. That's Mona Porcelain, and Mona, she looked amazing. She wasn't even like, see, she was like, all she like. One person they saw the picture, saw the video of her, we're doing that, posing her and Andrea Shaw. They said Mona, all she needed was maybe a week or two, and she could have done that show. But I was talking to some people off the phone, and they say that we strength they had the idea. That's like one point, like Irene Anderson, she should have done both open and also masters. Irene, she's not going to make it this year, because if she don't come in tight enough, if she don't make this thing, Irene has 12 points just like Stephanie has and a couple other women. If Irene has to get in, most definitely in the top 5 to get enough points to qualify for this year's Olympian, but I think she's going to miss it, because you still have people like Mona Persley, Michaela Acock, and a couple others who look really good this year. They look really good, and good most of those ladies have already qualified for the Olympia. So but Irene, I got to see Irene Anderson. That was great to meet her. It was great to meet her, and Kira Hall, and so many other women who I've followed on social media or I've done interviews with. It was just a great chance to meet them. But definitely had the opportunity this year. to qualify. And this should come up, and then it just she's done. From what I heard, she's in Dubai. Dubai over there, you can hide. Where they don't worry about stuff as the crimes you're doing over here in the states. She did have OnlyFans, and because of that, as I said before, the other live I done early this week, it's done. All her social media is done. She doesn't have an IG. She doesn't have. I don't think she even have Facebook. I think her Twitter's been shut down. I think she shut herself down. It's not like another guy. This guy Andrew Tate, whose stuff was scrubbed because his comments and shit he got into. I saw a picture. It's posted on our Lions Den Women's Mixed Martial Arts Community Facebook page, where they showed pictures of these fighters. I think it was Sean O'Malley and another guy standing taking pictures of with Andrew Tate, and then people talk about why didn't Aljamain Sterling did take a picture with him, because Aljamain Sterling is a stand-up brother. He's not gonna take a picture with some bullshit guy like, and people say, he talk about man masculinity. No, he's talking about himself. And the other guy saying, I figure I'm just like him. No, you're not like Andrew Tate. You're not like him. He's a jerk off. He's a jerk off, and that's sad that people don't realize that. People need somebody that can try to say, you're gonna be my hero. Where are the days of cowboy fight? No, times are changing. You don't adapt to times are changing, then you need to adapt to that. People talk about wokeness and say, so tell the truth about slavery. It's called wokeness. The history of slavery, the history of other minorities and stuff like that. But what? I'll get on that subject another time. But we gotta see with Stephanie. Stephanie down is in Dubai, and Dubai is a lot of rich guys there, and and Dubai is the Middle East, and I remember watching this thing a while back. These guys were two pimps who, they say like this: if you really want to make money in a particular region of the world, you get particular certain type of women. Blonde white women will make a lot of money in the Middle East and Asia because there's not a lot of them. Black women will make a lot of money in Eastern Europe and some of the Scandinavian countries because there's not a lot of them. A sister can go to Germany and to Netherlands and to Sweden and make money because it's like this. It's Sweden. It's all it is. That's tall, blonde women. That's how you're gonna you triple them like a rock. And men like that. Sometimes men like something different. They like something different, a little something different flavor. And your sister can go over there. You don't have to be the Prius sister where just good enough, that hey, you could turn some guy's head. Say, I can weep it. Yes, that's all you have to do. And Stephanie, from stuff I heard, Stephanie's not that pretty. She's a very good in makeup and hair and stuff like that. Maybe she, if she didn't mess up her career like this, she could have probably worked some of the shows as a makeup and hair artist. I think a lot of ladies can use her. They probably need a lot of work. There's some beautiful women, but there's also women that still need some work. But not to judge, but that's how the truth is about life. But she's got a chance that what's going to happen is that they will strip her of her pro card. Well, she can't compete. Now this she can do some. There's not too many organizations outside the IFBB for her to do. There's some natural organizations, but she's not natural, and she probably wouldn't do good in natural. She's been on gear for so long. And here's the story was about when she got on the whole Shelby Starnes thing. She was one of Shelby Starnes' clients, and then she said she almost died. While she was being prepped by Shelby. But what this is what I was told by one of my little birdies. This is a good thing when you have connections with people. That she went off to Vegas, got hopped on Molly, got on heroin, drinking. And the thing is that the gear they use does not work well. It's like with alcohol and other drugs. Yes, you're gonna die because of the fact that you're mixing two different chemicals, and it's gonna affect your body. Yes, you're gonna die, almost die. And the situation, you never know what the person's doing. If the person who's under a coach are not following the guidelines they are, then yes, it's gonna make them sick or something happen worse. You gotta be smart. You should know these women, they take their prep seriously. I talked to somebody and say, hey, one lady says her mind goes say, I got choice between a Snickers or a salad. Like that's I was talking to somebody. Salad's good for roughage. It was I was talking with that with Brooke. And and that's a choice you got to make. It's that's why at the same time it's hard for them to go out to hang with their friends. It's hard for them to eat the food they want to eat, but they can't eat it because the fact is they have to focus on the play. They want to win a show. They have to do what they have to do to win, and that means sacrificing salt, oil, sugar, dodging that. And it's hard for me now. I'm doing pretty good, but it's still, man. Yesterday I was out and about because I dropped my friend off to work, and usually he don't work no more, maybe a good 3 or 4 hours. I go work out, then I say, I'm hungry, so I stop by um, uh, Golden Corral, and what I did was smart. I got water. I got a baked potato, carrots, broccoli, some little barbecue, and some jerk chicken. And I got like a little thing was I think it was a cheesy broccoli mix. And I put it on my mashed potato, and and that was pretty smart. I could have got a tea because down here in South we love our sweet tea, but I didn't. I was and then that was my whole meal for the rest of the day. I didn't eat anything else. I might have snacked a little something like later on this last night, but I didn't really eat anything else after that. So sometimes if I'm out and I eat a big meal, a big lunch, I won't eat no other meals for the rest of the day. I might snack every when I get a little hungry, a little because your stomach will say a little hunger figure, a little hunger pains, just so I can satisfy my stomach. Just a little something, snack on something. But I've been kind of smart. I've been kind of smart. Did treadmill, lift some weights. Then, like I said, my friend gets off around about 1 2 o'clock. I say it was like when I got finished with working out, I was already about 11, about almost 12 o'clock. I said, you know what? Let me just go eat. Go to Walmart and pick up a few things. Um, where else I went? I forgot what's it? Walmart. Then I went to the mall, walked around because we walked around my mall. They had these chairs, these massaging chairs. So I sit in the chairs, my chairs were good. I was going to get my uh, mani pedi, but they were loaded. So I said, you know what? I'll just go sit out there in the middle of the mall and play my game, listen, and look at people, because people watch. And I did that. I mean, I need to get once. I need to get out of the house. I'll try to do more. But I said once he was it's time to get up to work, took him, drop him off from home, came here, and started working on stuff. I got a comparison video on gun. It's my flex and sex appeal edition. Oh yeah, I should have done it about a couple of days. About like I think I should have put it out. Actually, was it a couple of days ago? But this whole thing with Stephanie Fletcher just going around, I was so distracted talking to people on the phone back and forth. I mean, talking to people on the IG, trying to know what's going on, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I said, I'll do it later. And this is two ladies I'm most definitely y'all guys are gonna love. These are these are amazing women I picked for our Flex and Sex Appeal edition. I gotta pick a few more. You know, it's actually these are hard to do. I don't know how Mark Max Muscle does his with with the guys. He was doing the women's only Wednesday, but he stopped doing that. And I just say, what's the point? I don't really pitch the guys like that, so I just stopped watching. I think I'll subscribe to him. Sorry, Mark. You were doing pretty good, but then until you dropped the women. But I might check and see. He might came back to it. But a lot of his hardcore fans say, nah, I'll talk about women bodybuilding. So forget those guys. But you know, with the situation with Stephanie Fletcher, it's really shaking up the world of bodybuilding. I was talking to somebody a while back, Sean Roden, who was a former Mr. Olympia, who was stripped his title because of a sexual allegation. We're trying to find out it wasn't true. They should have reinstated his title, and he should get sponsored back. But the fact was, people like this, when it's a black man, and history has shown that when black men have been accused of rape, and even though it's not true, and most often it's the woman, either a woman lying on a man because she's hiding some secret, or she had sex with that man and she don't want nobody to know. Especially if her family. It's like, yeah, I like BBC. They like to say, nah, he raped me, he raped me. Wait a minute, when you come to a man's room or when you meet him someplace else, I know there's some circumstances where there's been stories of rape, but when you voluntarily let a man insert himself inside you, you're not being raped. This is sex. You're fucking. That's a big difference. you know. And what happened? Like one example is I'm gonna say this: Mike Tyson was a victim of that. People say, "No, I'm not taking." No, this woman went to his apartment willingly, and she went there for a reason. Because Mike, remember, Mike was a judge at a show she was competing at. She went over there willingly, you know, so because she can. And there's truth like this. There's testimony that Johnny Gill was at that same show. She tried to push up on him. You know, Johnny Gill might be. I won't say this. I'm not. I'm not saying. You know, you would hear enough anything about Johnny Gill in some situation with a woman or ex-wife, something like that. But she approached Johnny Gill and a couple other judges. Mike, you know, it was that time where after he lost to Buster Douglas, and he was just in a bad state. Just got voice from Robin Givens like that. And some girl come up to you, some young girl, and you just, and still he's pretty much, he was still at that age where he was still kind of a man child, just growing up. Still growing up. He went through a lot. I remember his adopted mother, Custody Amato's widow, his wife. She was there holding his hand. I remember he was wearing that tight ass suit, looks like curly. But she was support. She knew because she practically raised him. He knew he wasn't like that. I remember this guy who I knew say like, oh, he knew Mike Tyson back then. He was like, he used to hang out with a lot of girls. He wasn't like that. He was, he was kind of just really a nice guy. He loved girls because he grew up with, I think, 2 or 3 sisters. He was the only boy, and a lot of those guys have either, depending on what kind of mother your mother was, or what kind of people, if they loved you and support you, you love women. There's some guys who've been doing shit with but when you're the only boy in the family, you get put on a little bit more of a pedestal, especially by your mom, because you're her son. Sons and mothers have, I think, I would honestly say, have the best relationships, because I had a good relationship with my mom. Sons and mothers have great, like to say the quote the late actor Anthony Perkins from the movie Psycho, a boy's best friend is his mother, because that's the first woman you ever love. You can have a wife, you can have a girlfriend, but you only have one mother. You know, and your mother is always going to be like mine's. She was like I said this. My mother was my woman, and my woman gone. I'm a bachelor. I'm looking for a woman, but not like a mother image. I'm looking for somebody, hey, to make me feel good as a man. Oh, Mega Man, Tigress of the Queen Amazon. Hello from Berlin. Hello. Oh, Tisha. How you doing, Tisha? Thank you, Tisha. I know, Tisha. I know you're busy with stuff like, but I know you've heard about the whole shit with going on with Stephanie Fletcher. Tisha, that's my fight buddy, Tisha Thomas the Tigress. She's doing big over there in Berlin. We need to get back on and chop it up, Tisha, and we need to fight each other. We're gonna fight each other, Tisha. But his thing, if I fight with him, Tisha, you better not smell good. You better not smell good. Something might happen. I'm not responsible for the things I do. Yeah, I wouldn't want to fight a woman. I wouldn't fight. Tisha, she's great. I love Tisha. We got to one of these days she'll come back to the States, and maybe, I would love to meet her. I would love to. I'm not gonna go far away to Germany. Oh my God, I'm not ready for. I know I was talking to some lady saying like, George, you think you want to come to a show? I say, yeah, we're gonna have a show at. Oh, it's gonna be here. Here. Say, film's up for another award. Wow, congratulations, Tisha. Let me know if you want to come on and we can talk about this. Pick the date and time. We'll try to set it up, because you know what, I love to have you back on, Tisha. I hope your new adventure with your gym and your studio is doing good. You must respect, people respect and support the Tigress. Check out the documentary I Am Tigress. Get the push. If you are someone out there who's part of the American Academy, that movie should be nominated for a documentary. This is a good movie. It's real. You see the story. People need to learn about this. Is a movie that really could tell you about it. Pumping Iron 2, yes, but this is a great documentary. It's a lot more raw and modern. We need more documentary like this. This is people like I said, as I talked about earlier, more people out there who have the means of the way try to sponsor bodybuilding, not just women's bodybuilding, but bodybuilding in the whole. They need the help. They need more promoters. They need some major companies to, and don't use that thing about steroids. You have football players, baseball players that use steroids. You have guys who beat their wives and like that. But you talk about bodybuilding, but it's easy because it's easy to let that stuff go. You just saw how Damon Green knocked out that guy at the practice with the Golden State Warriors. But you go overlook that. But this situation with Stephanie, that's worse. Actually, that's worse than hitting the guy. But then there's other stuff that this happens in the world, in those major sports that's worse. That just is worse. There's been guys who just there's been allegations against guys. But back to the whole thing with Sean Roden. That's the reason why Sean died, because the stress of what happened to him. And there's been histories like, oh, thank you for the support. Nah, nah, you don't need to thank me. Just you're welcome. You deserve it. You put in a lot of years in his sport, and you deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve the support. Because I love you, Tisha. I love you. Mwah! I love you, and I hate you. I love like a Prince song. I hate you because I love you. I can't stand you. I hate you. you know, but what happened with Sean Roden? Because of this whole situation with the rape allegation, which were not true. And it's funny how whenever somebody's accused of something, it's on front page news. But when they found out it's the truth for that, the whole thing was a lie, and somebody orchestrated a campaign against this person, it's on the back of the page news. They don't put it on front page because newspapers hate to apologize. They generally do. They put it, they squeak it somewhere like in between the section where you want to buy a new car and Dear Abby. That's how I do it. Dear Abby, I don't anymore. I don't know. I don't read these people. Yeah, I haven't read Spirit. I used to just read the comic strips, and that was it. That was Sunday comics. Don't even have Sunday comics. It used to be like Sunday comics used to be like 4 pages long. Now it's like a page and a half. It's sad. It's sad. You know, kids trying to grow up too fast now. But Sean, the stress of dealing with this accusation, it killed him. And I'm so sorry for this man. I mean, he put all these years into sport, and then sport couldn't stand by him. There's a lot of people that supported him, but mainly he got stripped of his title. He lost his sponsors. And then Stephanie does this, and no one's really on a case as bad, especially she's a woman. As you know, years back there was a situation where women who were teachers who had sex with teenage boys, and people that's double standard about that. I remember it was this movie. It was a movie with the actor Julian Sands, and he played a psychologist. And he talked about how there's a difference between when a man has sex with a teenage girl and from a girl has when a woman has sex with a teenage boy. They see it like this: when a man, especially a teacher, gets involved with a teenage girl, it's all like a tragic drama. It's everybody's uproar. But then when it's a teacher, a female teacher with a teenage boy, it is a slapstick comedy. It's just like something like Meatballs, something like that. It's just because the fact is, men get the get more of a stink eye when it comes down to underage girls than when women do. All men society will say like this. Okay, it's time for him to dip his dipstick in the ink well. It's into the oil. I mean, it's time for him to become a man. But a lot of guys, there's been plenty of guys who've been sexually took advantage by women and deal with mental issues. Some of these guys end up being, sexually, promiscuous, or sexually act, or sexually promiscuous. Blah, 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 the word, you know, the word I'm talking about. And sometimes they never hold down relationships. Sometimes they even become abusive because of what they went through, and because instead of society saying like you're a victim, and you need help. They look and say, hey, now you're a man, son. Now you're a man. You had your first piece. Yeah, yeah. And sometimes we take advantage of them. There was a situation where it was a woman. She was married and she was having an affair with a student. And the husband found out, and he killed the boy. The boy should have known better. I understand that. I saw the picture of the woman. Well, didn't look that good. I mean, I know. I think it's just that it was his first piece. And that's what it was. Sometimes some men, your first piece can get you like that. That 3 6 Monster song. Like, pussy got you hook, pussy got you hook. And you gotta say, hell no, hell yeah. That's unless you're a real stud or whatever else like that. Yeah, but most men, you get a piece. And if it's a good piece, you're gonna be like, you be like a crackhead. You be like, you be like I say, Miss Man, you want me? You just go, it'll rile you out. It's been a while since I've been with a woman. You know, and I do miss the female companionship. Well, like I said, when I live here, it's a very small community, and even in my family's very large family. I had an uncle who had at least 20 head of kids. Then I had my on my father's side bunch of cousins from different offshoots of the family because my grandfather had like 8 sisters, and you have these sisters that marry somebody else, they expand their and just and my mother's side, oh God, it just it's hard for a man like myself because I don't go out that much, and I'm not the spry young guy like I used to be. But it's hard to find a decent woman, especially live someplace like here. You have either two choices: out of state or out of race. Either I have to start dating white women, or just go or leave North Carolina completely. And sometimes you got to be careful for that too, because slavery. A lot of people move around. You never know who's cousins. But in this situation with Sean Roden, they should have said when the allegations found out false, they should apologize to him because he's just a man. He slipped up. He slipped up. He had a moment, and this happens to everybody. We slipped up, and she apologized to him and restated his title and gave him opportunity. But no, they felt like nah, tell nah, Sometimes there's some situations where yes, you should give a man benefit of the doubt, but there's some situations when the evidence starts stacking up and it looks like that. You need to distance yourself. You need to really distance yourself. But some people are too stupid to do that. Like with that whole thing with Andrew Tate and the pictures I saw with him and some UFC fighters. Those guys are too stupid. They have the mentality, they don't think about it because most of them are practically brain damage. But people like Aljamain Sterling, much respect to Aljo, who stands up, who admits to, who sees the stuff. He doesn't fall in them because there's a lot of racism in UFC, and not just UFC, MMA in general. Prejudice and racism, a lot of it. There it is. And my man, the coach, CS Guy, Combat Sports, he's talking about that. You can catch Coach. He comes out every so often. Next time I get a live stream on him, you let me go on live with him. It's been a long time. I've been live with you, Coach. It's been a long time. We need to chop it up a little, Coach. You need to bring out the Joker. It's been a while sight. Create post on anarchy. And, you know how much I love dynamite and gasoline. But I'm not staying here too much longer, folks. I got some stuff I got to finish up doing. Whew, it's Saturday. Saturday is one of the few days I don't get to do anything because there's nothing to do. Like I said, the town I live in, it's not too busy. I might just go out later or just. Well, I got to take my friend to work tomorrow, so I said just wait till tomorrow and pick up a few things. It's almost the end of the month, and just about broke. Also I gotta get my car fixed next month. My struts and my shocks are going out. And I still can drive it, but you can't drive it too much. And I gotta get it replaced. God, it costs money. But my sister, my older sister, this is her car. She gave it to me because she owed me a favor, and she promised me and she gave it to me. So we'll come together, and But also, folks, if you follow my live stream, I do have a PayPal, a Venmo, and a Cash App. So if you want to make a donation, it never hurts. I'll take donations. Yeah, so I ain't too proud to beg. But if they get fixed, it's a pretty good car. And you gotta get oil change next month, get the struts and the shocks replaced, and it's a pretty good car. It's a pretty good car. She drove it for a long time. She drove all the way to Mississippi and everywhere in God's green earth. But it's still an older car, and I don't want to drive it too many places. That's why that Savannah was almost a 4-hour drive. I'm not that much for a long driving like that, so that's why I took a train. But back with this whole thing with Sean Roden, what had happened with him, it was awful, and the man didn't do anything wrong. He was just a man who slipped up. I won't call it a mistake. He made a bad decision. See, when we have a mistake, you can correct that mistake. When you make a bad decision, there's no correcting. You just have to get in front of it. And I think a lot of people, too many people are too afraid to get in front when the truth comes out. Get in front of it. We have a situation where it's really bad. Get in front of it. Don't try to lie, hunker down like people like Stephanie. Don't try to lie, hunker down. And try to say, yeah, you were convicted for you had I think 5 or 6 counts against you, and only convicted for 2. You were found guilty of 2 of those counts, and you served 2 days in prison because the fact was they wanted the bigger fish, and that was your boyfriend. He was the big fish. They wanted him. That guy's serving 60 years now. He if he gets parole, I don't know. Usually they'll wait and see how and then if he does get parole, he's a sex offender, meaning that he can't go to certain places. He has to check in. He has no life. I know a guy a while back. He killed himself when he was put on us, and all he did was, he had sex with a girl that they were both wasn't barely 2 3 years apart between them. But still, it's when sometimes I think he's like when there's too much close, ages. Like if she's 16, you 18. That's 2 years. 18, you're not really an adult per se. You can go join the army, but you still can't go to clubs. You still can't, drink alcohol. You can drink it, but it's illegal. And certain things you can't do. To push the age limit for buy cigarettes. I remember as a kid growing up, I can go to the store and say, I'm here to buy cigarettes. My sister said, "Oh, here you go, George." And they recognize because I'm American by family. They push it to 18. Now it's 21. But kids don't get around that shit. People like I know people talk about how you put the adult advisory thing on it. That's just for protection for myself. On YouTube. But you know kids can get around that stuff. They can. People gotta realize that. But it's by protection because I can post stuff like that. And the other thing is I gotta be careful because this is stuff I would love to post, but YouTube, they're really on some shit. They're very strict. They might pull up and say that, oh, this stuff is because it's against our sexual explicitly stuff. Yeah, yeah. And I posted one thing, and it wasn't that bad. It was just some stuff working out, and then they posted the thing on it. So it's not that bad. It's not. There's not that much other than but because it's just anything. But like I said, I gotta be careful. But with this Stephanie situation, it should really wake up the bodybuilding world. They need to get like a kind of a closer. They need to get somebody to put it up front. They need to get somebody to say, remember when the whole thing happened with the Donald Sterling thing and the NBA and everybody else in the all the and the NBA in the basketball union came together and they just pushed the guy out. Jake Wood, the Manions, everybody else to do like a little conference. Let them know. Just do that. Get in front of it. Get in front of it. Say that yes, we made a mistake. We have corrected the mistake, and now she is out. She should strip her a pro card. And the thing is, I talked with some ladies say that pro card, even though some ladies ain't competing anymore, they still keep their IFB pro status because you know what? It's like being licensed and bonded like like an electrician, a plumber, even security guys. It's like being licensed and bonded. That little card that costs you almost $300 a year. You should get a little more out of it, like benefits and stuff like that. But that's another thing that the IFBB and need to work on and try to do. Need to also get some per diems and stuff for the competitors. Because they're off season. Like I say, right now you got some shows going on, but then after you hit about the winter time, it sort of dies off, and they don't pick up till about late winter, early spring. And they could use that little extra money around because this is the only sport in which they're not really making much money. And I keep talking about it. That's why when I do my interviews, I request the ladies say, "Hey, you have a Cashmo or Venmo or PayPal. I can put in the description. If somebody want to make a donation to you, they can. And donations are not meaning that if I see some money, send me some pictures of you naked. No, fellas, don't do that. Just do it out of the kindness of your heart. If you have the means in the way, if you can't afford to do it, that's cool. But if you can send support in, like I know I see these little like on my IG, I know I was talking to one lady on the phone how she said, "George, I really appreciate the stuff you send me. Like the videos and the songs and you make the little fan art. I really appreciate that because what, it really helps out. And I said, what, I do this because the fact is I got nothing else to do. And I want to be an advocate for you ladies. And I'm, I hope we get an opportunity to get her on. She's a lovely lady. We've been talking, and these ladies, I have phone numbers to them. I was trying to talk to some of them yesterday, but I know they were busy and stuff like that. But it's just the other day I was on the phone. I was saying, wow, I was just talking to people. I said, hitting them up. Say, wait, what's going on? Tell me, And I'm not gonna tell them names because I respect their privacy. But people like Mala Ash, Andrew Shaw, Donna Salib, um, Michaela Aycock, Leah Denny, you know, amazing women in this sport. Mona Persillet, my dear friend, if you know she's not competing anymore, I said she's a dear friend of mine, Jada Beverly. Jada and Stephanie did that video together. That interview was early this year. It was before the Indy, and it didn't come out till like about July. And it's the most watched video. But now I think there's a good chance that Restream might scrub that video. Yeah, I think they're gonna scrub that video. So you should better grab a copy of it and just to see Jada. Jada just looks amazing. I love Jada. She's a great person. She's a handful, but she's a great person. I hope she's doing well. Me and her have been talking back and forth on IG and on the phone. And good morning, Lawrence Perkins. Good morning, my neighbor. Appreciate for coming through, Lawrence. But it's just there's a lot of great women to support. Yeah. How are you doing, morning, my neighbor? I'm doing good, my neighbor. You remember coming to America? We said, "Good morning, my neighbor," and the guys, "Fuck up." But um, it's just this situation is giving body been a black eye. We had those a bunch of deaths last year, and then this situation. Even though this is just one person, people say, "Well, Biden doesn't molest us." No, no. This was a stupid woman who put a man before a child's well-being, and try to bribe that child. This is the story of it. You can find it. You can go to Goop's IG, which is Goop, GOOB underscore U2. Go to his, and he posted stuff where he just, posted it when he said that they expired, that they ended her contract. That means, like I said, when you are ambassador, you work the booths, you do some guest posing. Stephanie worked the booth at Savannah along with Donna. And it's a way to, hey, keep a little money in your pocket. Certain levels, depending on how popular you are, is how you get paid. And, I know my dear friend Miss Tina S. Williams. She worked Tampa along with Teresa Vosick and was it Jennifer Childress, I believe. Yeah, and Jennifer. She's not competing this year. She might compete next year. I'm trying to reach out for an interview for her too. I'm only trying, you know, um, you know, Teresa might. I reached out to her, but she didn't respond. But I sent some stuff posting, and she's responded to that. But it's good. But I would love to get an interview. She just this. I'm sorry, she was quick. A couple weeks ago, I reached out to my man Glenn Young Senior, Junior, and this is the Amazon Fitness Magazine, and they just, I got my copy. This is for September, and it's actually July, but they put it out September. This is the hard copy. You can go to Amazon Fitness on IG. And if you want to, you can send you can DM Glenn if you want to get your copy. It's a great magazine. You have back here Teresa Mota, who's the cover girl. Teresa, she went through surgery, which she had to get her breast implants removed. She's doing fine. Reach out to Teresa Mota. Teresa Mota. Check her out on IG also. She's a model. She's a wife. Um, Also, you have plenty of pictures here. You have a wellness competitor, Melissa Guerrero. Wow, she's pretty. She's sexy. I'm trying to get her on here. Also, you have a couple more ladies here. You got this lady here. Go ahead and show her maybe. Alina Beck. I think she does maybe bikini wellness. I don't know. Let's see. Also, you have this is oh God, I know her name. Just can't forget this. Oh God, she's a amateur wellness competitor. Oh God, I got to meet her. Lexi, that's Lexi. Lexi's in the military. She should be home soon. She's amateur. Check out Lexi. She lives in my home state of North Carolina. Um, the layout that Glenn has done. Also, this is Erica Lopez. Oh my God! Look at her. I mean, I'm hoping to get her on the interview soon. She's beautiful. She's also wellness, and also, this lady here. I forgot her name. She's much mature lady, and also, um, you know, a little lady who I've become pretty with. We are. No, where she is. Wait, I think I went past it. No, I didn't go past it. I might did go past it. Let me see. I think I made it past it. There it is. My dear friend, Miss Mary Ann Wykowski, and she's in here. This is suit she wore at the Amazon Fitness Magazine party, She wears at the end. She's like Conana the Barbarian. Huh? Great lady. We talked to the phone a couple of days ago. Big fan of Marianne. And this is her. It's sex and bodybuilding seduction. She talks about the world of bodybuilding, women's bodybuilding, and how it's a lot of sex dollars. Shout out to Amazon Magazine. Yeah, shout out to them. Check it out. Lawrence. We want this magazine because we know what there are no more magazines that feature female bodybuilders. None, really anymore. They might have a little slide every now and then. Also, another lady who I interviewed a while back. This is one Miss NBC competitor, Carol Bennett. Go check out Carol Bennett on IG. She's gonna have a birthday coming next year. She's a Scorpio like herself. She was born November 14th, so she had a birthday, and a lot of other pictures and stuff like that. And a lot of stories. I mean, check it out. I mean, um, it's just great. Bodybuilding does. Here's another picture of Teresa on a motorcycle. You know, bodybuilding does need, especially for the women. I think not. There's not a lot of also, he has a sponsor. It was a Fizz Up, which is sponsors the Amazon Fitness magazine. You know what? This is a great magazine. I looked through it a good bit. I'm kind of didn't read too much because I'm kind of like Playboy. You read Playboy for the for the for the articles. If I was the old me, it'd be something else. But I've changed. I've grown. I've matured. But still, But it's a great magazine, folks. Check it out. Go to the Amazon Fitness IG, DM him. He'll tell you what you need to do if you want to get your home hard copy. We want this magazine to grow. We want it to expand. Because the fact that it needs to. Bodybuilding, especially women bodybuilding, they need something dedicated. It's like, remember the old Women's Physique World magazines back in the day? I used to love those. I still got a bunch of them. They stopped making it because society didn't like I get women muscle, but it's a great magazine. Glenn does a great job. He here in my home city, North Carolina. Maybe we him and get up and talk to each other again. But like I said, I'm not gonna sit too much longer. I know I should have been gone about 10 minutes ago. But you get to talk, you have to enjoy. But here's the thing is, folks, this definitely unfleshed situation shouldn't sour people against the sport of bodybuilding. This is an individual who did the most heinous thing in the world. She put the safety of a child over a man. And she knows she did it. And, I have no respect for her. I don't. I know some ladies who I've talked to on social media say they have no respect for her. Some people have met her, they just say, and she had a lot of potential. Great physique, a great body, a great look. She would have gone far. She could have probably, if it wasn't, she would have been already done 2 Miss Olympias by this time. But no, now she has done nothing. She has no accomplishment. She has nothing to stand on anymore. She is now, out there in the world. And now she's someplace where she has to survive by any means necessary. So you know what she has to do. You know what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do to survive. I say that, but you know what? It's not surviving. It's not. But folks, Most Talk Monday, 107 is coming up Monday. We will, if you already know, if you follow my channel, you already know who we're going to talk about. Me and my man Jen support us. I'm like I said, I'm over 1,000 subscribers. This is a great thing. I hit 1,000 subscribers. I'm not monetized yet because I need more watch hours. That's why I'm doing this, because this goes towards my watch time. It helps me, when I hit my 4,000 hours of watch time, then boom, I'll start making some money. I hope it doesn't affect my Social Security or anything like that. I hope not. It costs my things. But any little thing can help. Like I said, I got to, this weekend, try to find some more stuff to talk about, make some more of my videos, and just keep pushing. Take it to the limit. Yeah, I got that now. I put that in my phone, the Rick Ross version, because I work out to take it to the limit. It helps me to listen to music while I'm working out, because you know what, it keeps you pushing. Especially when I get on that stationary bike. Yeah, Ricky Ross. Yeah. I need to get the shades. I kind of look like a broke Rick Ross, who got to pay his bills. But I do appreciate y'all coming through. I do see T-shirt coming through. My man Lawrence Perkins. People who like this. 9 people like this. It's still early in the morning. It's almost it's a little. It's just a little few. It's a little. About I think about 20 minutes after 9 now. And, I'm usually watching cartoons or cheaters. It's nothing else on really much. It's sad. You get college football, but I'm not much for college football. My football days, I'm not. But it's sad you don't have Saturday morning cartoons anymore. I do watch on MeTV. They have like a 3 hours to show Popeye and Pink Panther, and they show. I just miss Tom and Jerry. I might watch Looney Tunes or just watch what Cheetahs have. If it's a good episode of Cheetahs, I'll watch that. Joey Greco shows were pretty good. They had Peter Pinkney, Peter Guns on there. Yeah, they couldn't find anybody else. They could have brought back Joey. Shit, brought back Joey Greco. Joey's pretty good. But after that situation where he faked the stabbing and all that shit, yeah, they had to let him go. But they could have found somebody else. That Peter Guns. You know, could have got Benzino. They could have like a little scrappy. He can probably use the money, but but folks, we want to say much respect to Rena Strain for stepping up and doing what they had to do. You're a company. You're a brand. You had to protect yourself because this is if you have someone like this, and also it's said again. Really pick some women, even though hey, you're gonna pick the women who are very popular on social media. I understand that, but really, really research it. And I think in the back of the head, I think they knew. They knew. Because like anything, when you apply for a job, they're always going to do a background check. They're not going to take you on face value. They knew. But they hoping the shit didn't come out. I think that's one thing about it. Now I had to get in front of it and protect themselves. Because if they didn't, they would have been in trouble. If you were, allowing somebody who, even though, hey, she served her time, but still, this was a woman who put put the interest of a man over the safety of a child. Women shouldn't do that. Women are protectors of children. Men, we should be protectors of children. Well, and I'll see what does a man find interesting about a child sexually? Nothing. Only thing a child can do is pick me to your mama. Hope your mama's not married. I hope she's pretty. That's all. That's all I want to do. I don't. If you got a single mom and your pretty little girl gets a single mom, I want to meet your mama. I'll picture here and say, where's your mama at? That's all. I don't. No. There's nothing. I say some. When I see children. And children kind of like I see a baby say, "Hey, baby." I love children because, like I said, I grew up in a good sized family. I have my niece and nephews, my great niece and nephews. Like I said, with my niece and nephews, they're more like my brothers and sisters. And with my great niece and nephews, they're more like actually my nieces and nephews. My oldest niece who lives in Atlanta. When I missed my train in Savannah, I called my sister. She called my niece. She came 3 hours away from Atlanta to come pick me up and take me home. We sat and we talked, had a good conversation because I hadn't seen her. Her name is Marlene, we call her Granny. I hadn't seen her for a long time. Other than I think I saw her a few months ago before that, and we talked a little bit, and we had a nice conversation because it was more like me talking with my sister than my niece. We a couple times she used to hang at the street club with me a couple times, me and my brother, because she's more like my sister than she is my niece, and her son, who is my great nephew, he's more my nephew. I love him. I love him. But it's good when you have family. In family, you stand by each other, protect each other. But it's sad when you have a family member who chose to put the interest in a man over the safety of a child. That is sad. Children, children just have beautiful, open hearts. They don't get corrupted till they become teenagers. Because in that mindset where they're still, I'm not a child, but I'm not really an adult. In that thing, and then it's just, you lose that innocence when you become a teenager. You have to work when we tell you're too grown. Now you're still a child. You're too grown. It's just a bad moment right there, mentally, physically. And this child was still young. She was probably about 11, 10 years old. Still a child, And it's just this man. And you know what? If you know anything about the prison system, guys who molest children and women, they put in protection custody, but there's every now and then you get to be now sometimes security guys would turn their head because think about they have kids. Some of those guys in prison have kids. They may not even see their kids that often. They may not even see their wives or girlfriend that often. And this guy coming here, you're messing with women and children. Now Mark Kelly right now, that brother, I think R. Kelly he might get a little pass because he's R. Kelly, but still there's some guys who are old-fashioned belief that if you are a man who molests women and children, you're gonna get your ass beat. You're gonna I'm not, advocating violence, but that's how it works in prison. Man, crazy world. Yeah, Lawrence, it's crazy, but it's just how the world is sometimes. The world can be cruel. Like Rocky said, can beat you down, but it's not how much hard you can hit. It's how much hard you can take the hit and keep moving forward. We got to keep moving forward because that's how winning is done. I love that. Somebody sent me that video uh, a while back with Rocky Balboa from Rocky Balboa when he was talking with his son. You know, and that is truthfully. And that's why I like Rocky. We have to, even though life's gonna hit you hard, it's gonna beat you down. Try to put you on your knees. You got to keep your head up and keep moving forward. And tell her to that family member of Stephanie's, you're young, you can grow. You can. I'm glad that she has family and friends around her to support her. And keep moving forward. And like I said, when we situation stand in front of it. And people out there, that's why I'm not mentioning who she is, because I know it's a female. Leave her alone. Don't bother her. She is one thing. This person was a close family member of yours, betrayed you. Then leave alone. I know there's 6 weirdos out there, and y'all can go to hell for that shit. But anybody else, support her, love her, put your arms around, tell her, sweetheart, you get nothing wrong. You know. So Anyway, I better go off. My battery on my phone's getting low. I should have plugged the charger while I was doing this, but I had enough time. But I want to wish y'all. I want to thank y'all for coming through. My man Lawrence Perkins. I want to thank my girl Tisha, the Tiger Thomas. Good luck on that new award. I hope you win. And like I said again, if you are somebody who knows somebody who works for the American Academy Award, get that documentary nominated. Tisha deserves a nomination. It's a great documentary. I've watched it. It's a great documentary. I get to see Tisha naked too. Sorry. The purpose had to cut out. I got quite a few personalities. But with this situation, in much respect to Winter's strength, okay, Judge, you take care, and shout out to Tigers. Thank you, Lawrence, man. Thank you. But much respect to my man Lawrence. Much respect to Amy out here. Thank you all for 9 likes. Share, comment, subscribe to my channel. Hey, get me up there. I really appreciate it. Even though what YouTube does to give you some phantom subscribers, but I genuinely appreciate the people who genuinely subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate y'all. Because you know what? I wouldn't be here because of you. And like I said, shout out to my mom, because it wasn't for her and what I was going through with her stuff and her supporting me, always telling me, son, trust and believe in Jesus and God. I trust and believe. I'm not about religion. I'm about faith. There's a 2 difference between religion and faith. There's a big difference. Religions can be corrupted, but faith can never be corrupted if you have faith in something greater than yourself. So, much respects to all the ladies out there in the sport of bodybuilding, WMMA, and all that stuff. And also to the victim of Stephanie Fletcher, you take care, sweetheart. You live your life. And, like a person you consider a family member, forget about them. Not everybody's family, not everybody you're related to is family. You can be related, but you're not truly family. Family, sometimes people don't have shared the same blood. They support you and love you. And that's a good thing. We have those people. Those other people are just relations. You share blood, but you're not really family. Anyway, I'm willing out. I'm gonna get straightened out, and then have some little fun. Anyway, this is man on the church page, aka the Emperor of Female Bodybuilding Talk. Or just say bodybuilding talk, or just talk on it all. Like, subscribe. I'm out. Enjoy the rest of your day.